Ready to unlock Europe's wonders? We're counting down the top 10 places every traveler should see, from romantic cities to wild natural landscapes. Along the way, you'll hear history, secrets, and fun facts that will make you see each spot with fresh eyes. Buckle up for a whirlwind tour through Europe's best, and stay with us all the way to number 1, where the ultimate adventure awaits. From sparkling city lights to snow-capped peaks, Europe is full of jaw-dropping destinations. Today we start at number 10 and work our way up to the very best. Let's kick things off in the City of Light itself. The French capital is pure poetry. Elegant boulevards, charming cafes on every corner, and world-famous art around every turn. Picture yourself strolling along the Seine at dawn, the Eiffel Tower's iron silhouette glowing gold in the soft light. Paris was founded over 2,000 years ago by the Romans. They called it Lutetia, and later grew into the heart of medieval and modern France. You could spend a lifetime wandering the Louvre, Notre Dame, and Montmartre alone. Paris is nicknamed La Ville Lumière, the City of Light. This isn't just because the Eiffel Tower sparkles on the hour, it does. An amazing 20,000 twinkling bulbs glow nightly, or that 33 of its 37 bridges are illuminated at dusk. The name actually comes from a 17th century push to light up the streets to improve public safety. True or not, today Paris shines with over 296 illuminated landmarks at night. Imagine brilliant white houses and sapphire blue domes tumbling down a cliff towards a shimmering sea. That's Santorini, Greece's volcanic gem. This tiny island was formed by one of the most powerful eruptions in history around 1600 BCE. The result? A crescent-shaped caldera crater filled with crystal-clear water. Today, Santorini's cliffside towns like Oia and Phaira offer the world-famous sunset views that photographers dream of. Almost 2 million travelers visit each year, for an island of just 15,000 locals. Here's a fun myth. Archaeologists uncovered a Bronze Age city, Akrotiri, buried by ash, and some historians think this could be Plato's lost Atlantis. Whether or not the legend is true, the ruins show a highly advanced Minoan settlement wiped out by volcanic fury. That dramatic history is visible in Santorini's landscape. Multicolored beaches of red, black and white sand formed by lava, and cozy houses built into the volcanic rock. Santorini is also famous for its hundreds of little chapels. There are more churches than homes on the island. Expect narrow lanes lined with bougainvillea, vibrant taverna music, and the mineral-rich Assyrtiko wine grown in volcanic soil. Dip in the warm springs of Nea Kameni, the volcanic islet at the caldera's center, or just savor a candlelit dinner overlooking the endless blue. Santorini is all about views that paint themselves across sky and sea. It's a place where adventure meets pure romance. Rome is like an open-air museum. Every corner of Italy's capital is steeped in history and drama. Picture walking through the ruins of the Roman Forum where gladiators once clashed, or tossing a coin into the Trevi Fountain. Legend says you'll return. Vast marble temples and triumphal arches tower above narrow cobblestone lanes, while the spirited fragrance of garlic and espresso fills the air. Known as the Caput Mundi, capital of the world, Rome's history spans 3 millennia. It gave us emperors, gladiators, popes, and even pizza. In fact, ancient Romans had street food too. The empire had takeout taverns where soldiers gobbled fast food as they conquered continents. Stroll up to the Pantheon and its astonishing 2,000-year-old dome, or climb the Spanish Steps and imagine Roman nobles in togas. Here's a fun one. All roads lead to Rome was literally true. Roman engineers paved roads 10 feet deep with stone and volcanic rock so durable they still form the basis of today's highways. Not to mention, Rome's Trevi Fountain still runs on a 2,000-year-old aqueduct built under Augustus. With over 900 churches inside the old city walls and 280 ornamental fountains, Rome is a glittering treasure trove of art and faith. And at the top of it all is St. Peter's Basilica, the tallest building in Rome, crowned with Michelangelo's massive dome. Sunlight gleams on Colosseum stone, and gelato shops line the piazzas. Modern Romans zip by on Vespas under bridges of antiquity. In Rome, the past and present collide in the best possible way. Every site a story, every street a memory. Bienvenido a Barcelona. This Catalan capital buzzes with art, sunshine, and Mediterranean energy. Imagine pastel-tiled rooftops, palm-lined boulevards, and the scent of paella drifting from seafood stands. Barcelona is where architecture becomes playful art. Everywhere you look, there's a surprise swirling Gaudi buildings that feel like they came from a fairy tale. The crown jewel is La Sagrada Familia, an impossibly tall basilica that's been under construction for over a century. Its ornate stone trees and towers let in colored light like a forest made of stained glass. Founded as a Roman city, Barcelona grew into a modernist wonderland. The Gothic quarter echoes with medieval stories at every church and square, while on the waterfront Las Ramblas teems with performers and tapas bars. Fun fact: Antoni Gaudi didn't have a blueprint for the Sagrada Familia. He drew by hand and let inspiration lead. It's still unfinished, but when complete will reach a staggering 172 meters tall. Besides architecture, Barcelona delights at every turn. You can stroll sandy Barceloneta beach, catch a flamenco show, or ride the cable car up Montjuic Hill for a panoramic sunset. And of course, shout salud with a glass of Cava Catalonia's famous sparkling wine. The colors of Barcelona, from the blue sea to the golden mosaics, leave a lasting joy. Welcome to Venice of the North. Amsterdam is a lively city built on water, with tree-lined canals and gabled houses as charming as a painting. It's famous for tulips, bicycles, and coffeehouse culture. In fact, there are an incredible 1.2 million bikes here, more bikes than people. The city has only about 821,000 residents. Every year, about 25,000 bikes mysteriously end up in the canals. Yup, people actually toss them in. Just be careful crossing the street. In Amsterdam, bikes always have the right of way. History here is all over 17th century merchant ships, Dutch masters like Rembrandt and Van Gogh, and the Anne Frank house echo the past. And speaking of water, Amsterdam boasts more canals and bridges than even Venice or Paris. Glide under stone arches on a boat tour and you'll see 165 canals winding 100 kilometers through the city. Each is lined with cozy cafes and brown cafe pubs serving cheese, stroopwafels, and that famous Heineken beer brewed here since 1864. Nightlife and culture are big too. The jazz clubs and world-class museums, Rijksmuseum and Van Gogh Museum, are top tier. Amsterdam is famously liberal, history meets hip, where every alley reveals street art and every bridge reflects city lights in the water. London is a universe of its own, a capital where old and new share the same skyline. Think medieval palaces, red double-decker buses, and cutting-edge culture. Imagine strolling across Westminster Bridge at sunset, seeing the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben. Actually, the bell inside the tower is now called the Elizabeth Tower. Or swinging by Buckingham Palace to catch the changing of the guard. This city has a bit of everything. Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, techno clubs, world-class museums, British Museum, Tate Modern, and the ultra-modern London Eye Ferris wheel lighting up the river each night. Something fun. London was home to the world's first underground railway, 1863, so you can ride the tube, the oldest metro network on Earth, to virtually anywhere in minutes. Londoners speak dozens of languages among them, and the city's food scene spans samosas in Brick Lane to afternoon cream tea in Hyde Park. Trivia: the first fish and chip shop opened in London in the 1860s. Make sure you hear some Beatles music in action. Abbey Road's zebra crossing is right here, and you can even walk across the very spot, though it has been moved slightly for traffic. Oh, and London is surprisingly green. Almost half the city is parks and gardens. Over 10,000 foxes roam freely, and if you look up, you might spot a peregrine falcon diving off the Tate Modern. Magic lives in London's mix of history and hustle. Step into a storybook city. Prague is called the Golden City, or City of 100 Spires, for good reason. Its skyline is a sea of red rooftops and Gothic towers. Cross the Vltava River on the legendary Charles Bridge, built in 1402, and you'll see 30 Baroque statues leading up to Prague Castle, which Guinness World Records calls the largest ancient castle in the world. From that hilltop fortress, you get panoramic views of terracotta roofs glowing in the afternoon sun. Wander the Old Town and time itself seems to slow. The astronomical clock on Old Town Square chimes every hour. It dates back to 1410, and tucked behind each archway are quaint shops selling bohemian crystal and artisanal beer. Speaking of beer, Prague is famous for world-class lagers. They drink more beer per person than any country on Earth. Cozy taverns serve hearty goulash and trdelnik, a warm cinnamon pastry as you sip a pilsner and listen to folk tunes. A fun Prague fact. The castle hides the Bohemian crown jewels behind a secret door, and 5 of the original knights who guard them have never spoken a word about it. The city's streets are lined with legends. Alchemists in the 16th century tried to create gold in these alleys. By night, Prague's bridges and spires light up over the river as if the city is made of glowing amber. It feels timeless, a place you could walk through medieval history one moment, then duck into a bohemian cafe the next. Nature lovers, this one's for you. Interlaken means between the lakes, and that's exactly where you'll find it. A postcard town squeezed between Lake Thun and Lake Brienz, with the mighty peaks of Eiger, Monch and Jungfrau towering overhead. This is Switzerland's adventure capital. Imagine crisp mountain air and emerald lakes that mirror towering snow-capped summits. In summer you can paraglide over the lakes, zip-line through the trees, or paddle in kayaks against the mountain backdrop. In winter, it's all about skiing and cozy chalets. There are even sledding trips at night, Swiss style. One of Interlaken's crowning adventures, the Jungfrau Railway. Hop on a historic cogwheel train that climbs through the Alps to the top of Europe at 3,454 meters above sea level. In just 2 hours, you're whisked up from valley to glacier, the highest train station in Europe. From the observation decks you can reach out and touch the eternal ice, see summit panoramas, and hear the shudder of avalanches in the distance. Back in town, Interlaken is cute and charming. Cows graze peacefully in flower-dotted meadows below soaring cliffs. Stores sell Swiss chocolate and watches. After all, precision is a Swiss specialty. And the village itself, with pastel chalets and flower boxes on every balcony, could be the cover of a winter calendar. Interlaken is not just scenery, it's a living playground. You'll feel on top of the world here. Welcome to Dubrovnik, a glittering medieval gem set on the Adriatic Sea. Enclosed by nearly 2 kilometers of perfectly preserved city walls, Dubrovnik is postcard perfection. Imagine ancient limestone streets, orange tile roofs tumbling to the harbor, and crystal water lapping at the city's edge. This coastal city was once a mighty maritime republic. Its motto was Libertas. And walking its walls, you can feel that freedom. 360-degree views of old palaces, red church domes and sailboats dotting the horizon. Dubrovnik's history is big. It earned UNESCO World Heritage status in 1979 for its architecture and fortifications. Look for the Rector's Palace, St. Saviour Church, and the awe-inspiring Sponza Palace, where merchants traded silk and spices centuries ago. For Game of Thrones fans, Dubrovnik is instantly recognizable as King's Landing. The city's Baroque streets and Gothic buildings starred as Westeros's capital. Whether or not you're in Westeros, you'll enjoy exploring the old town's lively squares, sampling fresh seafood by the port, and taking a glass-bottom boat trip to the nearby island of Lokrum, home to a botanical garden and even wild peacocks. Visitors love to hike up Mount Surad on a cable car, or by foot, for panoramic views of the red roofscape. And as evening falls, Dubrovnik turns even dreamier. Night lights reflect on the water and open-air cafes spill joyful chatter onto marble plazas. The number 1 spot goes to a country so wild it feels out of this world. Iceland. This island nation on the edge of Europe is the ultimate adventure playground. Think steaming geysers erupting against cobalt skies, black sand beaches bordering thunderous waterfalls and glacier-capped volcanoes throbbing under the midnight sun. Iceland's capital, Reykjavik, at latitude 64 degrees north, is the world's northernmost capital. That means you're almost in the Arctic. Yet it's a vibrant city with colourful architecture, hot springs at its doorstep, and geothermal pools, the famous Blue Lagoon, where you can soak as silica-rich steam rises all around you. Hop in a rugged super jeep and tour the Golden Circle. Witness the Geysir geothermal field spraying boiling water. Marvel at the mighty Gullfoss waterfall, and stand at the rift where the Eurasian and North American tectonic plates are literally pulling apart. Visit Vatnajökull Glacier, Europe's largest, for an ice cave tour that feels like stepping inside a crystal palace. At night, in season, Iceland really shines. The Aurora Borealis paints the sky with curtains of green and purple. It's an experience that's almost spiritual in its beauty. Or in summer, daylight lasts into midnight, the midnight sun, so you can hike by electric sunset at 11 p.m. Bonus fun facts: Icelanders have more sheep than people, and 13 Santa Claus figures called the Yule Lads. The landscape inspired Game of Thrones and interstellar scenes alike. It's that cinematic. But for us, the takeaway is: rugged Iceland will leave you feeling mighty small and profoundly alive. If you enjoyed our countdown, please like this video, subscribe for more travel guides, and let us know in the comments which of these places is next on your bucket list. Your journey starts here, so share your dream destination and join our community of explorers. Safe travels and see you in the next adventure.